Hey guys, today is the day. February 28th, Cancel Podcast is going to be in OKC, and I'm going to go watch it. I'm going to vlog today. I'm going to try to vlog. As you can see, I kind of just woke up. I brushed my teeth and I put like my contacts in. And obviously my hair is still in this. But yeah. Time to get ready. Okay, I had to change like my camera setting because like it was cutting me off. I've never been to like an influencer's like tour or tour like event before. Like I've always wanted to go to like VidCon and stuff like that. And so when I heard that the Cancel Podcast was coming to Oklahoma City, I was like, oh my god, like we have to go. It's kind of funny going back and like thinking about like when the first time I heard of Tana Mojo was, which is like a throwback. I feel like it was when I was watching Shane Dawson. Maybe I should like bleep that, I don't know. But yes, unfortunately I did watch Shane Dawson, but you know, most people did, I guess. Like if you were on YouTube at the time and all that, it was just a thing. And so kind of I started to kind of like, I knew who she was from like I would watch tea videos, and so I knew who she was from that. And then after the whole TanaCon situation, I knew her, and then I kind of kept up with her. And then yeah, so it's just kind of crazy to like see, I don't know, like the different stages of like knowing an influencer. I first started watching the Cancel Podcast, I think like last year. And so it's like when I was building my TV stand, I just watched a whole bunch of their videos. And I really like their dynamic. And I like when it's just them two. I did like when Shane, God, I can't think of his name, the octopus dude. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I loved him being on the episode. It's kind of crazy because that's how I found out about Brooke. And I started watching Brooke's YouTube videos. And I love Brooke so much. Like the way she dresses and all that. And kind of like her stories are so, she's so funny. And she's so like, I don't know how to explain it, but she was like such an inspiration. Like, she's an icon, not an inspiration, I would say. I was like watching her videos and I was like, OMG, like, how come I like Brooke more than Tana now? And obviously Tana will forever be iconic for simply just a bleaching tone, like a bleaching tone. Obviously more things she's iconic for, but I like quote that so much since I have like my blonde hair. I say that on like, not on the daily, I would say I say it like probably once every 2 weeks, which I feel like is a lot for that context, you know? Also, I bought Tarte Face Shape because Brooke bought Tarte Face Tape. I guess I'm gonna go in with these bronzing drops. I caved. It was so funny getting this. Went to Ulta and I was looking for multivitamins or something like that. And, oh, hair accessories and stuff. And then Lala comes to me and she's like, Liza, you have got to see the drunk elephant thing. Because everyone knows how, like, the little kids are, like, messing up drunk elephant stands. But me and Lila, since there's more Ultas than Sephora's, we tend to go to Ulta's more often. And so it was just kind of, like, crazy because we had never seen one messed up or anything, you know. She was like, I seen it with my own eyes. And I was like, what? She was like, there was little girls, not little girls. She was like, there was like preteen girls at the drunk elephant thing and they were talking. And I was like, oh my god, like we are here, we are seeing history. Like we are seeing her story I'm getting the rest of my stuff. I go to look at I was looking at like all the other brands that was around there. So I was like, let me go check it out. Like I gotta go see if it's messy or something. A battle was fought there. Like it was insane because usually they're not messed up at an Ulta, but they have infiltrated an Ulta. They have infiltrated, and this is not like Tulsa or something like that. This is like near my hometown. Just to see a battle fought so close from home, I'm like, holy crap. And when we went in, it was like a school bus dropped kids off, except I think it was for like a girl's birthday party, only because there was so many in there. And then the mom was like, it was almost like a game show, because the mom was like, you have 5 minutes and then we have to go check out. Me and Lala were in there for longer than 5 minutes, and they were still in there. And she was like, girls, come on, like, let's go. And then they would be like, but mom, we gotta go look at this, we gotta look at this. Which, you know, girls will be girls, but then the mom was just like, listening to them. And I was like, what the heck? Like, no wonder why Drunk Elephant B, like, they need to put that on, like, you know how in Jeffree Star's old house, he had his vault? They need a vault for the Drunk Elephant products, and it needs to be like, you need to show ID, you have to be like 18 or older. If you're like a minor, you have to be well, not even a minor. I feel like you have to be at like at least 15, no, 14, because 14's like kind of when you go into high school. I would say you at least need to be 14 to look at the Drunk Elephant products, because what are little kids getting out of Drunk Elephant? Like, what benefits do there, like, I know starting skincare is important, but, like, when I was a kid, my skincare was literally, like, I washed my face with, like, whatever soap we had, which isn't the best, because I did have, blackheads and stuff, but, like, you know, and then they make brands targeted to kids, like, I think there's one called Bubble, and it looks like it'd be, like, fun for kids. It's nowhere near expensive as what Drunk Elephant is, because that's expensive and parents be buying it for them. And I'm like, what? It's so insane to me. Like, because I remember, okay, hold on. Like I was saying, I remember, but I guess my thing was when I was that age and then until high school, the thing was makeup. And skincare wasn't really a big thing people focused on until the pandemic, when it was like, we don't really need to be wearing makeup because we have nowhere to go. And so that's kind of when I grew out of makeup. I mean, you know, a girl's gonna wear makeup, but like I had like a collection. And so that was kind of my thing, which I guess, no, I would, if I wanted a palette, I'd have to buy my own money. I was in, I think when I got into 7th grade, I didn't want to play softball, and so I was like, oh, I'm not gonna play like softball. I don't really like it. I don't, you know, it's just not for me. And we didn't really have a good like softball program, in the sense of they probably played like 5 games a season, which is insane. But that's just how it was. And then so junior high was even less. And so I was like, I'm not going to play softball. And so I didn't throughout junior high. My sister, when I'm in 8th grade, she was a freshman. She joined for slow pitch season. And so after she joined for slow pitch, then my mom was kind of like, well, Lala's going to be at the games, you know, why don't you play? And I was like, I don't want to play, you know. And basically, my mom was like, because we were in a Sephora, and she was like, if you play softball, I will buy you anything in the store. And this is going to tell you what year that this was, and what year I was a freshman, because this was during the summer. She was like, anything in the Sephora, I will buy you if you play softball. And so I was like, okay, you know what I picked up? The Modern Renaissance palette. Like, Anastasia Beverly Hills, they ran the game back then with makeup palettes, and that's the one I bought. It was new, and I was like, I want this so bad because I had watched so many YouTube videos on it and I didn't want to spend my own money on a $40 palette, $42 palette, I believe. But I was like, I ain't trying to, even though like I did, but I think I didn't have any money. And so that's why my mom was like, I'll buy you anything. And I was like, oh, I'll get this. And then so that's how I started playing softball. When I was in junior high and I didn't play, I would pitch. And so we had like a cellar and there was a like circular mark that was exactly where a strike zone was. And so I would remember I would just go out and I would just pitch the ball to it. And I would work on hitting that every time. Because I was bored, I had nothing to do. Like, I said I was quitting softball to focus on basketball, but then it's like at the same time I was like, oh, I don't want to go to the basketball court and work. So, yeah, that's what I would do. It's kind of crazy, like, thinking about it. And then my freshman year, like, they're like, oh, like, Liza can kind of pitch some. And so I would only pitch in JV games. So mind you, I have no pitching experience besides JV games, and JV games in a small town, like, you don't take seriously at all, you know what I mean? So I only pitched JV games, and then when it got to our districts, or no. Yes. Wait. Yeah, okay. Freshman year, I would sometimes pitch, not that much. Only in JV games, but barely, because it's like, it wasn't really a known thing. Sophomore year was when I exclusively pitched JV games. And so when it was districts, she puts me on the mound and she's like, you're gonna have to pitch this game. And I'm like, what? Like, I was freaking scared. So anxious. And so, I mean, we lost, but it was a better experience because it was like, an actual game instead of it being like, oh, everyone's goofing off, in a JV game. But yeah, so that's kind of like my beginnings in pitching. And then the next year, we got another coach for softball, and that's when I started pitching varsity. And I grew a lot that year. I don't think people realize the timeline of me pitching. I don't even think the coach realized how long I'd been pitching, because it's like I started taking lessons that year. So it's not like it was like a main focus. And I grew so much that year, and then I was able to hit spots because they were like, hit this spot. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that? It's kind of funny to like, just to kind of see my growth. And I really, like I said, I don't think people realize, like, I'm just going to put one dot there and put the other later. I don't think people realize, like, I legit was not, like, I didn't know really anything about it. But after that, I started taking pitching lessons. And with this really cool dude who ended up being related to my friend's now husband. He was a character. So he taught me like a change up, placement and all that. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I became varsity pitcher. So yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. Just thinking back on like how I got into softball, and then I quit basketball my junior year, which that's a whole story in and of itself. Yeah, so that's kind of my story for sports and all that. So that leads me back to like, I can relate in a way to the girls with the drunk elephant. I mean, my God, I had to be bribed, with makeup. But these girls aren't being bribed. I mean, I'm sure there are some out there that their parents are like, But that's the thing, it's like, if I feel like my mom, like, bribing me, like, it wasn't that serious. Like, we thought it was funny and it was a joke. And then when my mom was actually like, no, you gotta play because that was like your promise, I was like, oh. But I did play, like I said. But it's crazy because I'm like, I understand. At the same time, I wasn't going up to the makeup and like scooping it out. And like, okay, would I go and I'd swatch them on my arms? Yes. Did that disturb the palette? Probably like the sanitization of it. But like, if they were gonna put those like on someone, they would sanitize it before. So it didn't really have like an effect on that. I knew not to mess with anything or like spill stuff or like write things, and it was just, it's crazy like how much things have, I guess, changed. And it's like, I'm not blaming it on the kids because they're kids, you know. It's ultimately the parents are like not holding their kids accountable, and kids are gonna mess up, right? And kids are gonna make mistakes, but that's the thing about being a kid, is that you get to learn from that. But when your parent is always telling you that you're the best and that basically you do no wrong, you know, how are they gonna learn? You know? And I think that's sad because it's really is it like a disservice to kids. Anyways. And I don't know if it's like the parents are just, they're like so extremely whatever, because God, I don't even know. Like, because I think about this a lot and I'm like, why are kids today? Because it's like, teaching is such a thankless job, especially for how kids behave, and it's crazy. I'm like, the things that goes on in schools today, it's scary, and it's from students. And once again, it goes back to the parents, because the parents will allow it for so much. And then even when in their later years, when they try and control the behavior, it's like, well, you already set a precedent that they can do whatever they want, and so they're gonna do whatever they want. Also, I don't like when parents, they'll get on to other kids but not their own. Bro, that, especially when their kid is like the one acting out the most. These are looking rough, my wings. Also, it's like, my God, why did I do a wing? I don't know. This is gonna be a long vlog since I videoed me doing my makeup and talking. So my makeup is now done, so I'm going to start on my hair. Recently, I've been doing really well with these. Like, I think I finally figured out a way for it to come out not looking too, like, curled up. I guess it kind of does there. So, okay, let's see. Okay, now that my hair and makeup is done, I'm going to go get dressed and I'm going to pack what I need for overnight, and yeah. So fit check, I got these rings off Amazon. Excuse my self-tan hands. I got these from Arula. This is from Amazon. Teddy Fresh, Arula. Leggings are from Amazon. So my socks are from Amazon also. And then my shoes are Ivy Park Adidas. So yeah, that's the vibe for today. I don't know if maybe this is better so you can kind of see the fit. Since this video is kind of long, I'm going to break it up into 2 parts. This has been the get ready with me to go to the cancel cross country. Then the rest will be like the traveling and then like the thing itself. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe, like the video, you know, do all those fun things. You don't have to, but I will see you in the next one. Bye.